You have absolutely no idea what you do to people. And I mean that not as a compliment designed to make you feel good for the next 30 seconds before you scroll to something else. I mean it as a literal, observable, energetically verifiable fact that these cards are confirming with a clarity that made me laugh the moment I connected to your energy today. Because the chaos you are currently causing in someone's life, the very specific, very personal, completely involuntary chaos of a person who has become utterly and helplessly attached to you, is something you are walking around completely unaware of while they are over there coming apart at the seams. You are causing problems, Virgo, the good kind, the kind that a person secretly does not want solved. This person is hooked. That word is in the title of this reading, and I chose it deliberately because no softer word does justice to what I'm seeing in their energy. Not interested, not fond of you, not developing feelings at a reasonable, manageable pace. Hooked in the specific way of someone who tried to keep things casual and discovered too late that casual was never going to be available to them where you are concerned. Who reached for something light and found themselves holding something that has weight and substance and depth, and that they now cannot put down, even when putting it down would be the practical thing to do. And the possessiveness. Let me talk about the possessiveness, because this is the part that is going to surprise you most. Not a controlling possessiveness. I want to be precise about that distinction because it matters, the other kind, the kind that comes not from insecurity or the need to dominate, but from the very specific experience of having found something genuinely rare and feeling in the gut level honest way that bypasses all rationality. That losing it would be a loss of a particular magnitude, the kind that makes a person notice and feel something complicated about every other source of attention and warmth in your life. Not because they are unreasonable, because you have become the standard, and everything that is not you keeps failing to meet it. Subscribe to this channel and drop the word different in the comments right now, because you are built different. These cards have been trying to tell you that for longer than you've been fully willing to hear it. And today we are going to talk about exactly what that means and exactly what it is doing to the person who has had the very illuminating experience of finding out firsthand. Let me start with the question of what built different actually means, because it is thrown around enough that it risks becoming meaningless. And what I'm seeing in your energy and in the energy of the person who is currently losing their composure over you is anything but meaningless. It is specific, it has texture, it has identifiable qualities that I want to name one by one because I think you will recognize them. And I think recognizing them will help you understand why this person is responding to you the way they are. The first quality is the combination. You are many things simultaneously that most people are only one or two of at a time. You are precise and warm, composed and deeply feeling, intellectually sharp and emotionally intelligent, private and genuinely caring, independent and capable of extraordinary loyalty when someone earns it. Most people who encounter a person with one of these qualities encounter the others only in diminished form. The precision comes at the cost of warmth. The composure comes at the cost of depth. The independence comes at the cost of availability. In you, somehow, all of it coexists fully, without one quality canceling another out. That coexistence is disorienting to people who are paying real attention. It keeps them slightly off balance because they think they have you categorized, and then you reveal another dimension that the categorization had no room for. And each new dimension produces the same recalibration, a slightly stunned recognition that there is more here than they thought, and then more still. This person has been recalibrating continuously since they found you. They are not close to finished. The second quality is the standard you hold without seeming to hold it. You do not perform high standards. You do not announce them or make people aware of them as a form of leverage. You simply have them in how you do things, in how you treat people, in what you will and will not accept, in the quality of presence and attention and care you offer, and that you notice when it is not returned in kind. And people who encounter that standard, who experience being cared for with Virgo's specific, thorough, genuinely attentive quality of care, find that it recalibrates their expectations of what a connection can feel like permanently, whether they want it to or not. This person's expectations have been permanently recalibrated. They now know what it feels like to be in the orbit of someone who brings what you bring. And that knowledge makes everything that is not you feel like a significant downgrade. That is the problem you are causing. Not deliberately, simply by being what you are. The third quality, and this is the one that I think is most specifically responsible for the possessiveness, is your inaccessibility. Not coldness, not withholding, something much more specific than either of those. The sense that there is a version of you, a deeper, more interior, more fully revealed version that not everyone gets to access. That access is something earned rather than simply given. That the full warmth and the full depth and the full extraordinary richness of who you are is available, but available selectively to people who have demonstrated they can hold it properly. That inaccessibility, combined with the glimpses they have gotten of what lies behind it, has produced in this person a specific and driving preoccupation. They want access, the full access. They have tasted enough of the real you to understand that what they've tasted is only a portion, and the portion is already the best thing they've encountered in a long time. And the awareness of the rest of it existing just beyond the edge of what they currently have is something they cannot stop thinking about. They want all of it. And the wanting has become the organizing principle of their inner life in a way they did not sign up for and cannot seem to resign from. Let me describe what their daily experience looks like right now, because this is the part where you begin to understand the full extent of the problem you are causing and why the word mercy might end up feeling appropriate. They wake up thinking about you. Not every morning, perhaps, in the early days. But now, at this point in how things have developed with a consistency that has become both unremarkable and slightly alarming to them, you are simply there in the first moments of the day before the full machinery of consciousness has come online, present in the softest, least defended part of the mind, where only the things that genuinely matter tend to live. They go through their day, and you surface in it repeatedly, prompted by things that have no obvious connection to you, and by things that have every connection. A song, a quality of light, something someone says that you would have responded to in a specific way that they can now perfectly predict because they have been paying that much attention. A moment of something difficult or funny or beautiful, that their first instinct is to want to share with you, and the particular pang of that instinct when the circumstances do not allow for its immediate satisfaction. They interact with other people and they notice, not always consciously, not always with language attached to the noticing the ways those interactions fall short of something, the ways the conversation doesn't go quite as deep, the ways the humor doesn't land quite the same, the ways the care doesn't have the same quality, the same thoroughness, the same specific attentiveness to the details that matter. They are not making these comparisons cruelly or deliberately. They are making them the way the mind makes all comparisons automatically, beneath the level of intentional thought. But the comparisons keep arriving. And the conclusion they keep producing is the same conclusion. No one is you. And being aware of that, living with the daily confirmation of that, is producing in them something between exhilaration and despair. The exhilaration of knowing what they want with complete clarity, the despair of not yet knowing whether they can have it in the full way they want it. Now I need to talk about the possessiveness more specifically, because it is showing up in their energy in a way that is worth examining carefully, not to alarm you, but to give you accurate information about where this person actually is internally and what it means for how things between you are developing. The possessiveness is expressing itself as attention, specific, detailed, thoroughly maintained attention to everything in your world that involves other people. Not obsessive surveillance. This is not a person who has lost the plot entirely, but a heightened awareness, an involuntary registering of who else has access to you, who else gets your time and your warmth and your specific quality of care, who else gets to be the recipient of the humor and the depth and the unguarded moments that this person has discovered are some of the most precious things available to a person lucky enough to experience them. What they feel when they observe someone else in receipt of your full attention is not pretty, and they know it. There is a flash of something competitive, wanting, slightly irrational that they would prefer not to feel and cannot help feeling. And the reason it is not pretty and the reason they are slightly ashamed of it is that it reveals to them in unmistakable terms the full extent of what they feel. Because you only feel that way about something you genuinely cannot stand the thought of losing, something that has become, in your own private calculus of what matters, irreplaceable. You are irreplaceable to them. That is what the possessiveness is saying underneath all its complicated social unsuitability. Simply, this person cannot imagine a version of their life that includes losing access to you and feels good about it. And that inability is driving everything. Let me speak now to what you are doing without trying, without awareness, simply by being yourself that is producing all of this. Because understanding it will tell you something about yourself that is worth knowing and will also help you understand why these feelings in this person are not going to diminish with time. They are going to deepen. They are going to become more rather than less. And knowing that, understanding why, is going to matter for how you navigate what comes next. You are being consistent. This sounds simple, and it is not simple. In a world where people's behavior toward those they are attracted to tends to be variable, warmer when they want something, cooler when they feel secure, strategic in ways that produce inconsistency, you are simply the same. Present when you are present, honest about how you are, caring in the specific ways that are natural to you without amplifying or diminishing that care based on what you want to produce in the other person. You are not performing, you are just being. And that consistency, the experience of someone who is reliably themselves rather than reliably managing your perception of them, is something this person has found so rare that they have begun to organize their life around, maintaining proximity to it. You are also being honest in the quiet, understated, non performative way that is native to Virgo. You say what you mean what you say. When something is not right, you don't pretend it is. When something is good, you don't inflate it beyond what it is. When you don't know something, you say you don't know, rather than producing an answer designed to impress. That honesty, maintained over time, has built in this person a level of trust that they did not expect to arrive so quickly, and that they now cannot imagine functioning without. They trust you, perhaps more than they trust most people in their life. And that trust, layered on top of the attraction and the depth and the possessiveness and the dailiness of thinking about you, that trust is what has taken this from a feeling into something that has the architecture of something serious, something with a future orientation, something that is not going to resolve itself by fading or redirecting or simply becoming less with the passage of time. What is this person going to do with everything they are carrying? That is what these cards are building toward, and I want to be direct about what I see. They are going to claim you, not as a declaration of ownership. That is not what claiming means here. As a declaration of intention. They are reaching a point, have perhaps already reached it, and are now simply gathering the nerve that the moment requires, where continuing to feel this much without expressing it fully, without being honest about the depth and the seriousness and the possessive, caring quality of what they feel, has become untenable. Where the management of this feeling has become more exhausting than the risk of its full expression, what they express when they get there is going to be more than you have heard from them before, more specific, more serious, more willing to be completely visible in the full extent of what they feel without the softening that previous expressions have carried. They are done softening this. It has gone past the point where softening is honest. And they are, whatever their other qualities and complexities, someone who respects honesty too much to keep misrepresenting the size of what they feel. The conversation is coming, the claiming is coming. The moment where you find out, in terms that require no interpretation, that this person is hooked and possessive and completely undone by you and has decided that you should know it, that moment is close. And you are going to have to decide what to do with it. How to receive something this direct and this serious from someone who has clearly thought about this for long enough to be bringing it with this much weight. Whether to meet it with the full corresponding honesty of your own interior, or to manage it back into something smaller and safer and less exposing. Please do not manage it smaller. This person has been brave enough to feel this much. They are going to be brave enough to say it. Meet that bravery with yours. Show them that the you they have been falling for, the specific, real, completely unperformed you that has had this effect on them is available to meet them fully in this moment. You are built different, Virgo. You are built for exactly this kind of real, substantive, depth requiring, genuinely life changing connection. Not for the curated, managed, safe distance version of it, for the full thing. Let it be the full thing. Come back and tell me in the comments, can you feel it? The particular energy of someone who has become slightly helpless around you. Drop different if this reading described something you have been sensing without having words for it. Tell me if the possessiveness has been making itself known in ways you have been noticing but not fully interpreting. Tell me if the dailiness I described, the surfacing in their thoughts, the comparisons they can't stop making, matches something this person has let slip in moments of honesty with you. Because what has been slipping through in those moments is the truth, and the full truth is coming. Ready yourself for it. Stay exactly as you are. That is the whole instruction. I'll see you in the next one.